Hello, my beautiful bitches, my little bleach droplets. Welcome back to my channel. It is me, Bleach, all caps, exclamation point, because baby, I am a loud ass bitch. And I thank you for watching. I'll be giving some tips and tricks and some stories, so please stick around. In the meantime, subscribe, like, share, follow, comment down below. You already know. All right, so as you guys can see, I'm prepping my face. Yes, I use deodorant all over because my loves, I'm telling you, it works fantastically. That first thing I was using is the Mehron toner. I've spoken about it before. I think I'm gonna have a description list below with all my products. So if you wanna know what I'm using, just click the description box and I promise to have them there. Something that I recommend when you put all these stuff on your face, primer and all these liquids, really, really, really dry down your skin. See, like I'm tapping it because I'm making sure that she's dry. All right, so once you do that, before I forget, if you're doing the brow method that I am doing, blocking them out, I do have a dedicated video that you guys can watch where I explain in full detail how to block down your brows. But if you have any type of lotion or oil, your brows will not stay down. So I suggest using alcohol to clean up your brows and then start using the gluing method because yeah, because it works. All right. So while I glue down my brows, let me tell you guys how to get booked. Because I'm still getting questions and people are messaging me like, hey, Diva, can you book me? And stuff like that, which I don't mind. I understand the hustle. But the way to get booked, you have to go to local prides. You have to go to local pride centers. You have to volunteer. Never be good enough for anything. All right. Before I continue on, I'm color correcting. Remember, if you saw my face without the color corrector, you could see that there's like still that shadow of gray slash blue. I hide that with my color corrector. This is a really red color corrector. I also have a peach one, but I realized that this one just works a little better. Okay, so back to being booked. So I suggest that you guys Google local prides or even prides in other states that you guys can go. And when you do go, show up in drag. Have people look at you because typically the people running the shows will want to ask you, oh, hey, who are you? Or what are you about? I mean, look good, of course. Speaking of looking good, don't forget to level up. Be real with yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, would I book myself for a show? If the answer is no, introspect. I've said this last time and I'll say it again. You got to really look inwards and be honest with yourself. Is my makeup giving? Are my wigs giving? Or are my wigs giving fresh out of a bag? You know, because sometimes sorry, I wasn't expecting to see that. By the way, throughout this video, you will see me singing randomly, and I wonder if some of you guys can pick up on what songs I'm singing. Some of them I'm really obvious with it, but who knows? I do want to say that the unedited video of this was, again, 1 hour, and it includes a whole bunch of, me looking down and stuff. So I'm telling you, y'all, I'm ready for Drag Race. When I go to Drag Race, I can do my makeup in under an hour and I'll focus on something else. All right, so what you're seeing right now is I mixed two different foundations because I still haven't gotten a new foundation, but I had some other ones that I just really want to get through. So what I did is I mixed it on my cheeks. You can also do it on the back of your hand or something, but because I'm so cheap, I love to mix things literally on my cheek, as you just saw. So make sure to get the foundation on your ear, your neck, your cheeks, you name it. And as you do that, just keep on working and gluing down your brows. Do not buff out on top of the red until after the color correcting. All right, so back to leveling up. I suggest that anytime that you guys go out and do a gig, have someone record you. Even leveling up also includes walking. Some of you girls can't walk that well. And that's okay. My suggestion, how I've learned how to walk, I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I ain't saying I'm the best, but I ain't the worst. What I'm saying is shoulders back, hips forward. When you guys do that, I can assure you, you will like walk so much better. A lot of girls can't walk in stiletto heels, and that's fine. I started off with my chunky heels, and little by little, I worked my way up to stilettos. So, just be patient. A lot of you guys want to be booked and blessed and busy immediately without putting in the work. Like I said, putting in the work includes learning how to do your makeup, learning to network. Networking is a skill in itself. All right, as you guys can see, my face is still red. I promise that will all be fixed. I layer my foundation, so don't be afraid. Right now, what you're viewing is I am applying my liquid highlights to my face. I apply it to the high points of my face or to the areas where I want it to be brought forward. Again, I have a manly face. I have a big face. I have a big ass forehead, as you guys can see. So I have to ensure that my face looks as small as possible, especially when I'm in drag. If you guys have small heads, you can even highlight more. But if you have a big ass head like me, diva, be mindful of your placement, of your highlights, and all of that. Also, are we enjoying that I'm keeping the unedited footage of me just bouncing on my face? Is this relaxing? Do you guys like to see this? Or would you guys rather that I just skip ahead a little bit? I do this because my rationale behind keeping all this footage is that I want you guys to see every single step without, like me doing stuff off camera, because a lot of you guys are nervous doing your makeup on your own for the first time. So if you guys see this video and follow along, I hope that it gives you some sort of comfort. I have applied foundations with brushes and sponges, and I have to say that I prefer both, actually. You'll see me use a brush for my contours. Right now, I am now adding a little bit of my foundation, the little bit I have left. As you guys look, I'm even squirting it. I'm telling you, I ran out. So look at me buffing on top of it, and you'll see that that little red discoloration will disappear, and it's like as if I never color corrected. Again, color correction hides the blue undertones, and if I didn't color correct, you would still see like a little bit. And I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan. It's just me. All right. So going back to introspection, don't be afraid to be your worst critic, but also be nice to yourself. For example, if you did a bad job, be like, wow, that wasn't my best performance, but I'm committed to getting better. That's maybe like a positive affirmation that you can even tell yourself. Remember, I'm not perfect, and I don't think I'll ever be perfect, and that is okay. I mean, people like me. I'm getting booked still. Speaking of bookings, if you guys are watching this in actuality, this Saturday I will be hosting New Haven Pride, which I would love to talk about. I feel so honored and so blessed to be able to host my local Pride. It is just full circle for me. 14 years ago, and I was on my Facebook, on my boy account. That's how I know it was so long ago. That I had gone to Pride and participated as an audience member, not as a queen. So to know that years later I am the host is everything. And what means to me even the most is that I didn't apply. I was asked. So once you guys, going back to how to get booked, once you guys start going to local Pride events and local gigs and local bars and wherever drag is, people will start to know who you are. People will remember. And people know in Connecticut who the hell Bleach is. If you don't know who Bleach is, you're just lying, because baby, I'm everywhere. I've performed at the Capitol. I've hosted several prides. I hosted Middletown Pride. I hosted Waterbury Pride. I'm hosting New Haven Pride. I've done my thing. So I feel very grateful for all of these opportunities. I hosted the Mystic Pride after party. I can just think of all the opportunities. But these opportunities weren't just given to me. I earned them. I worked very hard to ensure that I was known, that I'm a somebody, because this is my job. It's not just a hobby for me. All right, so going back to the makeup really quick, as you guys can see, I applied my liquid contours all over my face, on the hollows of my cheek, my forehead, and the bottom of my chin. The purpose of this is to make my face look smaller. It is to contour, which is to create new shapes and dimensions. If you guys can see my placement, I'm placing it right there and not like on my actual head because my wig goes there. And my biggest suggestion is don't get makeup back there, because if you do wear wigs, you might ruin your lace and you have to clean it. And it's just, no. Speaking of laces, I'm gonna give you guys some really good advice. If you don't have to glue down your wig, don't do it. People already know it's a wig. Fuck it. If you have to glue it down, consider using double-sided tape, like, or hemming tape, or any sort of like wig tape that exists. Do that instead of glue, because you want your wigs to last you a while. I mean, some of you guys have cheap wigs, so you don't have to worry about that. But some of my wigs, for example, cost me over $300, $350, $380. So I want to make sure that those wigs last a long time, because I paid a lot of money for them. And that includes me being selective on when I use glue, when not. So if I'm hosting, I'm standing still, I don't really need to glue down my wigs. I can just stand there and everything's gonna be fine. And as long as you have your wig grips and everything, that's perfect. If you guys want a video on wigs and stuff, I would love to make one for you guys. I would love to style a wig for you guys and to also put it on and explain how I would do that. Let me know if you guys are interested, even though there are so many tutorials on YouTube that I don't even know if the world needs one more. But if you do, let a bitch know. All right, back to the video. As you guys can see, I'm powdering my face and I'm using a powder puff. I did this last time and I realized that it really does like penetrate your skin even better. So I'm all about the powder puff, but not that important. Just always start off on your highlight areas, the lighter areas on your face, because you don't want them to mix, like darker or deeper colors with your highlight. So as you can see, I'm really setting that because I'm preparing for a gig that passed already at this point. This was for Pop Girls at Chubby Lounge, which is my home bar. I love Chubby Lounge. It is home to me. As you guys can see, I'm using a fluffy brush to apply the rest of the powder on my face on the darker areas or on the deeper side. Sorry, I'm trying to be politically correct. Okay, so yes, I use that, and I'm pretty sure that I use a powder puff afterwards. But yeah, powdering is everything. I over powder because I really want everything to stick in place. All right, so as you guys can see that, I'm gonna tell you guys a really funny story of one of the times that I was, branding myself. So in 2022, I had gone to $3 Bill, which is in Brooklyn, New York, and I actually met Tsunami Muse before she was even on Drag Race. And Tsunami Muse said to me, "You're beautiful. You have it already." And I said, "This is my second time in drag." And she said, "What?" And I said, "Yes, diva," because I'm a little overachiever. So she said to me, "Why don't you go and participate at Pieces New York? Drag Wars." So there's an open stage every single Monday in New York City and Manhattan. It's called Drag Wars, and it's really competitive. Like, the show starts late, like at 10 or 11, but bitches show up by 7 o'clock to sign up. So if you're not there by 7 o'clock, you probably miss a spot. The only way that they will allow you to sign up for beforehand is if it's your first ever time. Other than that, they won't. You have to show up. And I've actually competed like 3 times now. And the other 2 times, I remember showing up at 6:30 and girls were already lining up at the door, because at 7 o'clock is when they open, and that's when you say, "Hey, I want to sign up for this." And I remember when they opened the door, this one bitch first of all, she cut the line. I was like, "Okay, bitch," but I get it. Like, she was probably like, "I'm not about to miss not performing tonight." I mean, the girl was from the city, but imagine me. I live in Connecticut. Imagine me driving all the way to New York to be told, "Oh, we're filled for tonight," or "We're full for tonight." I would be gagged. But if that's ever the case for any of you, this is what you're gonna do. Drive to Brooklyn. Brooklyn on Monday nights also has an open set, and they don't have a limit. It is called Mad Mondays. I believe it was originated by Madeline Hatter, who was on season 3, I believe, of Dragula. If any of you guys love Dragula, then you guys know who Madeline Hatter is. Madeline Hatter, how I knew her was as a wig maker. That's how I learned who they were. I own 4 Maddies, as they call her. I love them. They are fabulous, and I have to attribute a lot of who bleaches to Madeline Hatter, because before Madeline Hatter, I had different hairstyles and just a different vibe. And Madeline Hatter's hairs, how big they are, just made me realize, wow, I want to be a big haired queen, if you will. So there are benefits. So the benefits to having those big wigs are this: people are obsessed with looking at you. They think that it's the best thing they've ever seen. You look amazing. And they're like, oh my God, can we take a picture? Because I'm giving you quintessential drag. The downside of it is the wigs are really heavy. So sometimes I can barely move my head. I can barely move them back. So if you guys ever see a bitch with really, really, really big hair, give the bitch an Advil because her head hurts. Trust me. I've been at gigs where I have to like bend over and have my head down to release some of the pressure I feel on my head when I have double stacks. Double stacks are basically 2 wigs onto one. All right, so back to the tutorial. As you guys can see, I did my brows, and after I did my brows, I used a concealer to clean up the bottom of my brow. When I'm looking at my brow, and this is a pro tip, when you're doing your brows, the only thing that should be even should be the top, like the top of your brow, because the bottom, you're able to clean it up and make those match. But in the meantime, make the top match. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does. And always look forward. All right, so I used 3 colors here. I used a black, as you guys can see. I'm using a brown color-esque for the middle shade, and then I actually used like a peachy tone that you can't even tell, but I blend everything so that it looks more diffused. Right now what I'm doing is, it's called a half cut crease. I like to do these, and using concealer or an eyeshadow primer or base, whatever, you can create like a half circle, and that's the shape I'm creating right now. The way I suggest you do this is view your face as a 2D plane, not 3D. Don't follow your natural features. You have to fake it, because if you follow where the crevice goes or the crease goes, it won't create the shape you want. So try and just imagine that your face is a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper, and you're just, making it work. All right, so that's what I'm doing right here. After I do that, I apply my shimmers, or you can even put white matte shadow, and it looks really pretty. I think that's what Mistress Isabel Brooks does. For those who knows Drag Race, she does that. Right now, I'm applying, I think it's a pink shimmer, just because I like it, a little shimmer, so it glitters on stage. It looks really nice. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love doing my makeup. I think my makeup's like one of my favorite parts. Also, don't be afraid to, look up close. I try to actually not use mirrors up close, because the more I look at myself, the more I want to fix things. And I have to, and this is advice for you all, stand back. Stand like 5 feet back and look in the mirror. What you see, that's what the people will see. The people will not see that you put an extra line of liner on your eyebrow that you weren't supposed to. So right now, by the way, that's what I'm doing. My eyebrows were already set, but I've been using eyeliner to add little details to them so it looks a little more realistic. But still, I'm doing these details for me, because people won't even see these most likely. Again, if you're being planned on being photographed a lot, this matters. Okay, back to the makeup tutorial. I'm removing all of the excess powders. Look at how I'm just swooping it off the face. Swooping it off the face. Look at all that powder. That powder, all that excess, also works for collecting any eyeshadow fallout. So that's why I also add a little more than usual. Yes, yes. All right, let me go back to my story about Pieces. Damn it, me and my ADHD. So when I was at Pieces, okay, I finally had the opportunity to compete. My first ever time, I did Look at Me by Jerry Halliwell, and I didn't place at all. But the second time I competed, I did If I Were a Boy by Beyonce. And out of 15 bitches, I was third. So that made me feel very special, and it made me feel super great because I did a ballad and I was the only one that did a ballad. And that was the day that I realized you're really good at ballads. And I remember this one girl, God bless her, I forgot her name, but she says, wow, your stage presence is undeniable. So when people ask me, like, why are you booked or how are you booked? Stage presence also matters. Like, just having a command. And it's interesting because today I went to therapy, and so I go to group therapy, and they were telling me that I have a presence to me, that I just have star quality. And I was like, that means a lot to me because sometimes I don't feel it. I'll be real. Sometimes, you know, a bitch is insecure and I'm not feeling myself. So having, you know, strangers be like, no, diva, you're fab. It makes me feel good because believe it or not, I don't feel that way all the time. I feel like when I'm bleach, I'm like, yes, diva work. But when I'm boy me, I'm not, you know, always feeling myself. I'm doubting myself because this is so important to me. Like my career as a drag artist, a drag performer, a drag queen. It's so important to me that like I'm afraid of being a flop. I'm afraid of not being booked. Like that's like one of my biggest fears. And even though it hasn't been actuality, it's still a fear for me. So that's why I will forever work as hard as I do. Right now, as you guys can see, this tip, I usually never do this just because it gets a little gray. But I did this because I saw Nymphia Wind do this on Trixie's channel. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start cleaning up my, my liner. And as you guys can see, I'm using an eyeshadow brush and I'm basically buffing it down. So that down, look, I'm going down and very lightly. Don't go outward, go down if you really want to have like a pussified face. Okay. All right. So I'm not done with my story. Okay. So I'm third place. I'm feeling amazing. ID drag. I walked to my car. I put all my stuff. Oh, because I drove into the city. I always drive into the city whenever I go. Well, not always, but I'll say 90% if I'm going to do a gig because I love having just, if I want to get the fuck out of somewhere, I will. I hate staying somewhere when I just don't want to. So I leave, and as I'm driving home, I look to my left, and I'm like, ooh, there's a 99-cent pizza shop. So just so you guys know, for those who don't know, all around New York City, there are pizza shops that are open to like, I don't know, like 4 in the morning or some shit. Maybe not that late, but still. And you can buy for $2.50 2 slices of pizza and a Coca-Cola or like a Pepsi or whatever. So I remember, I'm like, you know what? I'm a little hungry. My drive back home is going to be an hour and 20 minutes according to the GPS. Because at that time, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. There's no traffic. Getting into the city, New York City, for me is a hassle because of traffic. But leaving the city, I can be home in an hour and 10 minutes because it's not that far technically. It's just traffic that really is the bummer. Okay, so I park and I left my car key. So I have a little fob, a key fob, and you guys know what that is. And if not, just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just my car key, but it's not like a key. It's like the little egg thing. Okay, now you visualize it. Cool. So my key fob was inside of my drag bag and it was really difficult to reach. And I said, you know what? This is gonna be really quick. So I parked in front of a fucking police station too. It actually said no parking. It said police parking only. But I said, fuck the police. I'm gonna park right here and I just want my pizza. So I crossed the street to go get my pizza. I ordered it. I'm waiting at least 2 minutes. And every time, oh, mind you, I didn't lock my doors. This is important. Oh shit, I know. So every 10 seconds I'm looking back because I'm terrified. I'm like, oh my God, I hope nobody gets into my car. There's New York City, there's people everywhere. But at this hour, there really wasn't that many people. So cool, I get my pizza, my 2 slices. I got 2 peps, 2 pepperoni, and a Pepsi. As I'm crossing the street to get back to my car, I open my door. There is someone in my passenger seat rummaging through my car. I swear to you, my voice changed and I went, oh my God, let me try and imitate it as best I went. Like, I was so in shock that I was like, what are you doing in here? Like, I was talking like that. Oh my God, I just had a flashback. Okay, so mind you, I dropped my fucking pizza, which I'm mad about. And now I'm like, where the fuck is my phone? What are you doing? Oh, he had sorry that I'm jumping so much. I'm just like gagged that this really happened to me. So as I see him in my passenger seat, he's wearing my fucking coat. He was about to steal my North Face jacket, which it was a nice puffer jacket. And I'm like, and I started screaming. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And I grabbed him. I fucking punched the shit out of him. I grabbed my coat. I said, where the fuck is my stuff? He goes, I didn't take anything. I didn't take anything. And I was like, get the fuck out of my car. And then as I'm looking for my phone, because oh my God, I'm such a fucking dumbass. I also left my phone in my car. Y'all, learn from my mistakes. I'm an idiot. I am stupid. I am just a fucking buffoon. Oh my God. So anyway, I get out of my car. I walk around my car so that I'm behind him, and I fucking yank off my coat there. And then I push him to the ground. And I said, why the fuck would you do this shit? I was mad, mind you. Like, do you blame me for being mad? Bitch, I had to defend myself. And that was the first time in drag that I wish I had like a taser or something. Because that shit was scary. Now, whose fault was this? 1000% my fault. Like, had this been to somebody else, I would have called them a dumb bitch. So I'm calling myself a dumb bitch because I fucking fucked up. I just remember during the entire I couldn't find my phone, so my phone is black and my case is black. I couldn't find it. I thought he stole it. So I'm saying throughout this all, I'm screaming and yelling, and I had to get calm and say, okay, Google. Because when I say that, my phone actually answers, and it actually just answered right now. But it answers, and what I wanted to see was, or hear it, go like, I'm here. So what I typically do is I say, hey Google, sing me a song, and she will. Oop. Let me see. Oh no, see, I exited out. My phone was about to do it, but I canceled the command. But my phone was in the car. Everything was fine. When I'm driving home, guess what I clock? He dropped his phone in my car. And I was so fucking mad. I fucking opened my window and I chucked that shit on the fucking highway. Like into like the woods or something. I was livid. I said, this is your motherfucking karma for fucking attempting to steal from me. It was traumatic, but I'm a survivor. Okay. Let's go back into the video. I know there's a long ass story, but guys, I have so many stories. Okay, so as you guys can see, I'm doing my lip. So what I do with my lip, and you guys will see me do it a lot, put lipstick on and just move your lips around everywhere. Wherever your lipstick lands, work around that so that you can create these fake looking lips. I try and do them very cartoon-esque, which is why I do them as big as I do. Piece of advice, if you have a large chin like me, you're gonna overdraw your lip on the bottom. Now, if you have a small chin, wait, what am I singing? Waiting for Tonight? I think that's what it was. I don't know. Anyway, if you have a small chin, but a large mustache area, then you overdraw on your top lip. Right now, I overdraw on the bottom because it looks balanced afterwards. I use a brush to blend all of my colors. My liner is a black eyeshadow. I use a plum color for my outside. I use red for the base, if you will. I use pink for the center to blend it all out. And I just make it all work. And again, view your face in a 2D plane. Before that, you guys saw me apply highlighters and all that fun stuff. I also applied my beauty marks because I do have those naturally. So I look very Anastasia. Right now, I am blending the bottom lash line with black. And I believe I added like a pink red color. I don't know what that is. I really can't tell from here. But I remember just blending it out. Look at how I removed the excess. Another piece of advice. It's easier to add than to remove. So when you guys pick up eyeshadow, be very mindful. If you feel that there's like too much, remove it, because you can always pick up more eyeshadow, but you can't remove it. And if you do remove it, it's really tough to get rid of it. So I've already applied, I believe, some face powders, such as like foundations. Right now I'm applying blush, and blush, notice how it just changed my face. Look at those cheekbones. Blush is really a game changer for me. I think blush shapes your face more than contour does. Sue me. Look at that. Puss. Actually, full puss. I don't care what anybody says. Okay. So, I'm blending it all out. I add a little on the bottom of my nose so it looks like I have a little bit of a runny nose, but not too much like George's or Candy or any of those girls. Now I'm applying my contour, my contour shades, my powder. So remember, liquids first, then powder. I use liquids first because I really want to reinforce like where I placed it. Underpainting is the best thing that you can do if you're doing drag. If you're not doing drag, you don't have to underpaint. You don't have to do it. Like, I don't understand why half of you, like, girls want to be a drag queen. Like, that's not the tea. Ooh, hold on. Hold on. So I just, listen, so, people are like stealing from me or something. I just got on my phone, new sign-in request for your Microsoft account. So somebody is trying to hack my email. What is this? Like, in this economy? No, baby. No, baby. No, baby. Okay. All right, back to the video. Ooh, this was the gag of the millennium. I never use gloss, but let me tell you something. Adding gloss is pussy. Don't add gloss if your hair is gonna be all over your face. My wigs that I use are always out of my face. I use wood glue, or I even use craft glue, so to ensure that all my hairs are out of my face. If you guys want a more detailed explanation, please let me know. Look at me, what a hot mess. I love just feeling the fantasy. Look at that makeup. Okay, she looks puss. Look at her, look at her. Yes, no, I love it. See, I love seeing the process come alive. Okay, so what am I singing? What am I singing? I don't know what I was singing there. I was curious. You know what? I'm going to see the unedited footage and I'll comment it on the top comment. Right, so after I set my face, that setting spray, by the way, was the Mehron setting spray. That shit is legit. After my face is dry, I apply even more highlighter. Look at how that's popping. Look at how beautiful that is. And on stage, it looks even better. I'm telling you, I'm a pro. What highlighter am I using? I think I'm using Makeup by Mario, I believe. Makeup by Mario is Kim's makeup artist. Sorry, I see myself sing every time and I want to guess what I'm singing. So I edited this video yesterday, but I'm doing my voiceover today. I knew I wouldn't, I said I wouldn't do more voiceovers, but well, I have to sometimes. So I'm applying mascara. Always apply mascara after your setting spray. If you apply mascara and then you set your face, you have a chance of the mascara just literally dripping down your face, and you don't want that to happen. I'm telling you from experience. If you don't want that to happen, get like a waterproof mascara. But even then, like, I don't know. I prefer normal mascaras because they're blacker, and waterproof mascaras tend to be gray. I don't know how to explain it, but if you know, you know. But nonetheless, here I'm using a Maybelline lash thingamajig, okay? Y'all, I need to plug myself, and I never do. If you guys have gotten this far into the video, please make sure to follow me on all my social platforms. That is at Bleach the Drag Queen. What am I singing? What am I singing? Oh, no. I don't know. I'm a hot mess. Don't mind me. I'm baking cookies. Who gets the reference? Okay. Now I'm applying my lashes. I want you guys to look at my eyes. Also, I'm applying lash glue to my actual lid. Right, the closest I can to my waterline. Look at when I apply my lash and I look down. Look at how big and beautiful they look. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Lashes make the look. The way I apply lashes is I first put the lash in the dead center, and then I work my way my inner corner, and then I work my outer corner. My outer corner, I want it to like be lifted. Some of the girls at this point in their makeup would actually grab a hair dryer or like a blower, whatever you call it, and they would just like blow it up so that the lashes would be upward. Look at that. Look at that. Look at her. Look at her. She looks fab. Didn't tell me anything. So you're about to see some video of me at the club. I'm going to say goodbye now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, I'm trying to make my floral shirts a thing. If you guys have noticed, every video I've had a floral shirt. I think I'm going to make it my thing. Guys, thank you so much. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me being a ham.
Lighting, okay? Or
yeah,
should
I mean, the lighting is
or should I face the X?
Yes. Ooh. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, she lifting a leg.
This is ridiculous. This is absurd. Oh my god.
This is absurd. Absolutely bonkers.
How is this even a thing?
I hate my picture taken.
Stupid.